Last summer and fall, the U.S. Navy's 7th Fleet was the center of attention after 2 collisions that killed 17 sailors. Naval warfare reporter David Larder recently visited 7th Fleet and talked with Jeff Martin about what he learned.
So Dave, you just got back from Japan visiting 7th Fleet in this year after these major collisions that kind of shook the Navy to its core. What did you learn out there?
So the Navy, and specifically 7th Fleet, is working to get on a more predictable schedule. One of the things they found in the comprehensive review was that the 7th Fleet had kind of drifted away from any semblance of what they call a force generation model, and that is this time is blocked out for maintenance, this time is blocked out for training, and this time is blocked out for operations. That had all kind of gone to the wind. They found that operational tempo between 2015 and 2016 had spiked by about 40%.
Wow.
Yeah, it was serious. And in the midst of covering all those bases, they kind of let the schedule just go to the breeze. And so the major takeaway that I think 7th Fleet brought from the comprehensive review was we need to make sure that we're on a predictable schedule. Now that helps sailors to, with families out there, to plan vacations and leave and normal everyday parent things. But I think from an operational standpoint, it really makes sure that ships before they operate are fully ready to take up the tasks that the nation gives them.
Great. So specifically, one thing you did get to see while you're out there was the USS John McCain. How's the repair work going, and how do things stand?
So John McCain looks pretty good, all things considered. We all have that image in our heads of her limping into Singapore with a lot of dents and a big gaping hole and twisted metal and wires and pipes
and just to put things in perspective, which ship was more damaged, Fitzgerald or McCain?
So overall, Fitzgerald suffered the more serious damage, but they both suffered pretty extensive damage. Now, for McCain, the damage was localized below the waterline for the most part, and so they made the determination that the ship's repair facility in Japan can take care of that repair. Now, it's not easy. They have to cut out the big section that was damaged, which is pretty much done. They've put up the support beams and the scaffolding and all the walls, that the false barriers that they need to put up to create this, and they essentially cut it out, and then they insert the new piece, which is difficult. It's not an easy operation, but they think they can do it, and they are looking at a timeline at the earliest by the end of this year.
What was your impression of whether or not they can get that done based on seeing it face to face?
I think with anything, they're also trying to get a bunch of other modernization and maintenance done while they've got her out of the water. It's been there for a very long time, and so they're trying to take advantage of it. And as with any major modernization, when you start opening it up, there's stuff that they realized that needed to be done that they hadn't done. So I think with growth work, it's probable it'll get pushed farther to the right. But again, I think the refocus on 7th Fleet from just meeting tasking to, okay, these ships need to be ready to meet tasking, at least in the short term, has created a situation where they need to reset and make sure their ships are good to go, make sure they don't have giant holes in them, and are actually able to execute a schedule that's realistic.
So coming up, we've got the Navy League Sea or Space Conference next week down at National Harbor. A lot of people from the Navy coming in, a lot of industry. There's a lot of things that are kind of up in the air for the Navy right now when it comes to industry. What are you hoping to learn?
I'd like to learn a little more about what's going on with the Navy's aerial tanker. That's kind of our colleague Valerie Encina has been all over that story, but I'm eager to find out where that's going. Carrier aviation is about 20 years behind schedule on having
on literally everything,
a viable unmanned platform on board. We're 20 years into the war on terror and proven capability of drones and to be effective on the battlefield, and the Navy doesn't really have a good one on their carrier. So I'd be looking forward to see where they're going with that. It's supposed to be a rapid acquisition. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm also looking forward to hearing more details about the future frigate. By the SNA in January, it still seemed like we know what we want, but we're still trying to figure out exactly what we want. So the the full package of what's going on with FFGX. I hope to get a little more clarity on that.
All right, Dave, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.